All right, guys, got another video for you today. So, if you guys checked out my last video, you guys saw I finally did some runs, put the thing on the street, well, in a parking lot actually, and yeah, for those of you guys who checked out the video, it was a pretty wild day, man. 112 mile an hour backflip and fully landed a perfect 10 right on the wheels, man. So this is a little bit of an update, man. You guys could see the body here at 112 mile an hour flip. I'm one of the lucky ones. Somebody was looking out for me that day. I've seen some other people take air, and unfortunately, were not as lucky as me, man. So I'm thankful for that. Did another run after the 112 mile an hour pass, and did another backflip. So I guess I didn't learn my lesson the first time, but the only thing that happened was just this little scratch right there. So not a bad day, man. I'll count my blessings for that. I ended up putting the canards back on. So I probably should have started off this way instead of going the other way off the bat with no canards. And then I should have gone from there. So I put these back on, but I've trimmed them down to the two line mark here. So hopefully that's going to end up keeping the nose on the ground a little bit more. I'm going to crank up the juice on the ESC and next go around. So we're going to try to get past the 112 mark. So I'm not even going to be messing around with 4S or 6S anymore. That was kind of just like I said, some shakedowns doing 4S. On 4S, again with the ESC turned down, I think I hit like 70, 80 miles an hour. And then I popped in 6S that day. Again, the ESC still turned down. The best I ran on 6S, I only ran like 2 times. I got like 104. I probably could have did better than that. And then I jumped up to 8S, and that's when I got the 112 and did the unfortunate backflip. So today's video is going to be a little bit of an update to some things that I've changed since then, other than the canards. So we're going to run it this time this way and see if that helps keep it on the ground. I got some feedback from some other people, which, like I said, man, I always take feedback and go from there. So a couple of people mentioned stiffening up the rear shocks so there's not as much travel, because I guess what happens is when you're running a lot of power and you hit the throttle, the rear end squats and causes the front end to lift. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that that's not the case, but I don't know that that was so much from that, or I think the biggest factor was I was running in a kind of like a loading dock type parking lot, and there was a lot of this going on. So when you're doing 112 miles an hour and your car hits a dip and then it's coming out of a dip at 112 miles an hour, it's going to be pretty easy for wind to just catch this thing and toss it in the air. So, but like I said, I've taken that feedback. I've tightened up the rear. I've added the canards, and I'm probably not going to run in that parking lot again. So I think that those all taught me valuable lessons. So a couple of things that we're going to dive into today. Excuse the mess again, my trademark mess. I'm never done working on the car, so unfortunately I can never get to that mess, but I will eventually. A couple of things today. First off, I wanted to start with something real quick here. People have been asking me about my little stand, man. I know I'm surprised that I get comments on it, and people are like, man, where'd you get that stand? So I'll show you guys a quick thing on this. Let me move the car out of the way here real quick. All right. So the story behind the stand, you guys see it says Traxxas X01. I got a club member I'm in, or when I was running my X01, which I still have, but so I was in the X01 club, and there was a guy on there who runs the club, Steven Spencer, really cool dude, man, and he makes like just creative shit, dude, and he makes parts for X01 that he machines himself, and I think he's selling. So this stand here, unfortunately, can't be purchased. One day he just, I guess, was messing around in his garage or whatever, and he had some parts laying around. And sure enough, he posted a picture of this, and he's like, just got done building a stand, and he had his car on it, and he was spinning it around and showing how solid it was. And I was like, dude, how much you want to sell that thing for? He's like, you really want to buy it? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you know, so basically he's like, all right, well, name me a price. And, you know, I've seen other stands, 20, 30 bucks, you know, whatever the case may be. And, you know, he's like, you know, I'll ship it out to you for, you know, 70, 75 bucks. So, you know what? Hey, I mean, you know, 75 bucks, you know, probably overpaid for it a little bit, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that, because you can get yourself a decent stand, you know, and it costs 20, 30 bucks or whatever. And this thing's all, you know, custom. So, you know, I said, you know what? Hey, man, at the end of the day, you know, he's a club member. He made it. You know, I figured I'd pay for his artistic, you know, work, and I liked it, so it worked for me. So he used some diamond plate, which was pretty cool. I hadn't seen that before. He used I don't know, some old piston that he had laying around, and you know, mounted it and put a swivel on here and some bearings. So nonetheless, I ended up buying it from him, man, and this thing's pretty badass. So you can't buy it at the store or anything like that. But well, like I said, I paid 75 bucks for it, and I figured I'd give him a code, and that was with shipping. So, and really, I was paying him for his you know, artistic things that he put together, man. Like I said, it's a one-off. So if I paid a couple of bucks extra, oh well. But other than that, enough about the stand. Back to the car. All right, sorry about that. So basically, I'm going to show you guys what I did with the car. Let's get it centered up a little bit. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so a couple of things that I did, man. So basically, I guess I'll just kind of dive into some of the issues that I was having. For those of you guys, oh, first of all, check out this here, man. Really cool. I had these things laying around, and I'm like, man, you know what? Shit, what's the point of just checking your battery when you're at home or anything like that? So I'm sure not the first one who's ever done this, but man, this thing looks like a ticking time bomb. It's pretty badass. So I just went ahead and got some Velcro and mounted these things in the car. So now whenever I'm doing my runs, I could see all my battery cells, make sure everything's in line. And plus it looks really cool. I really wasn't going for looks, but like I said, it looks like a ticking time bomb under here. So, but the one thing I liked when I had my XO1, it had the telemetry. So I was always able to tell, you know, my temperature, my voltage, things like that. And I didn't have that in this car. So I'm like, man, I need something to tell me what my voltage is. And I don't have telemetry on my transmitter. So what other better way than, you know, when I'm doing speed runs, my speed's right there. I can check my speed if I ever remember to reset the shit. I had a couple of mishaps on the last video where I didn't. But nonetheless, it looks cool and totally functional. But today's video, more than that, which is just another idea, but changing my my connectors. So if you guys saw my last video, I was running the Castle connectors. And there was nothing wrong with those connectors. I liked them. The only problem I had, I mean, they held up, but the only problem I had is running this setup. When you're running like Monster 8S setup, I mean, these are 100C, 200 bursts on each one of these batteries. Plus I'm running the kill mode, the big boy right there, the cat pack. Props out to kill mode too, man. I've been running this same cat pack in my XO1 and now in this car, and man, I beat the hell out of my XO1, and I just took this right out of my XO1 and put it in here, and the thing is still going, man. So this is probably going on, I don't know, almost a year now. So I can't speak for other cat packs that are out in the market. You know, this is the one I'm using. And like I said, shout outs to Kill Mode, man. He makes a good product. So I can't really compare other people's stuff out there. I haven't used them. So, but nonetheless, anytime I was connecting my Castle, man, I was getting a ferocious ass pop and spark. It was ridiculous. It was almost like, shit, should I be wearing like rubber gloves and like rubber boots? I mean, it was bad. And obviously after a while of doing that, that's going to end up taking a toll on your ESC, which, you know, I didn't want to do that. The other thing is that in my my Castle connectors, I was starting to see on the male ends, I was starting to see little black marks on the tips. So I was like, oh, that's probably not too good. So let's go ahead and get those changed. So I went ahead and I went with the AMASS connectors, if that's how you pronounce it. But these things are badass. I mean, so far I haven't run the car with them, so I can't discuss that yet. I'll do a review. I mean, if these things melt down or start on fire, that'll be for a different review, and I'll apologize for saying these things are badass. But so far, just with the way they connect and you know, not having to use shrink tubing and all that kind of stuff, these are badass. And I'll show you guys when I actually connect the vehicle what makes them the most badass. So really quick, I'm going to try to see if I can do something here. I just want to show you guys, you know, some of you guys may already be running these. Some of you guys may already know about these. So this is really not for you guys. This is for, you know, somebody else that, you know, maybe, you know, determining, you know, do they want to go with a Castle connector? Do they want to go with an XT90? You know, whatever. And I can vouch that so far, getting these soldered and connected, I mean, it was just so easy, and these things are pretty badass. So okay, so basically I just want to kind of show you guys, if you guys know how to solder and you don't get solder into the threads, which you don't want to do, right? So you put the connector on, boom, slide it up. Once you get everything soldered up, slide it up. Try to do this one-handed. So all you do, screw it right back on. No shrink wrap. Nice insulated connector. Again, really easy. I like the fact that there's no shrink wrap, and you know, these things could be reused. So again, I mean, if you unscrew it, you know, take it off of here if you need to use it in a different car, or you know, whatever the case may be. You can use these for a different vehicle, or switch them around, or like I said, so I ordered quite a few packs of these just to have some on hand extra. And like I said, you just screw it up, boom, done. The other thing, the most beautiful part besides that, so if you guys see, I'll try to get up close here and try to do this one-handed. Did you guys see that? All right, one-handed again. Look, I'm just barely, they're not even in all the way. Not a pop, not a spark, not an arc, not anything, man. So smooth. So I could even do, just grab this, squeeze them together with one hand. All right, check that out. No gaps, no nothing, nothing exposed. Very nice so far. Again, I don't anticipate any issues. If my Castles were handling the amps, you know, fine, at least from the runs that I've done, I don't anticipate having any issues with these. So again, some of you guys are probably already running these. You guys are familiar. You may have either had a good or bad experience. So, you know, any feedback anybody could provide, you know, let me know. But so far, just as far as, you know, connectability, no spark whatsoever, because, and without getting too much into the scientific aspect of it, which, again, so you can kind of see that, and how it works is, you know, basically it's like a bullet connector, but the tip is insulated. So there's the tip, and then there's like a small insulation which prevents the full connection. So when you first connect it, yeah, you're getting power, but until you actually fully connect and get past that first resistor, that's when you're fully connected. At least that's how I think how it works scientifically. So again, I'm not Bill Nye the Science Guy or anything like that. So, but again, my goal was no spark. So that is awesome. So again, I'm going to probably be running these here this weekend. I'm going to turn the juice up on the ESC, and we're going to send it. We're going to see if we can keep it on the ground. We're going to see if we could beat 112, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to easily be able to do that. My temps on the motor, like I said, I was doing, you know, back to back runs, you know, with, you know, maybe a few minutes here and there in between, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But this motor, I've stated in other videos, is a beast. After all of those runs, you know, I was running at like 160 degrees or something like that. And that's in 100-degree weather in Arizona. So I'll be honest with you guys, I cranked up the gearing. I'm going to crank up the ESC, and we're going to send it, and we're going to see what happens. So I'll let you guys know if I have any updates on these connectors. If they melt to shit, I'll let you guys know. But other than that, like I said, I just want to let you guys know about these things. These things are going to come in big handy. And again, these are loud as shit. So if I got a low cell or something like that, I'm sure the ESC will, you know, I got it set up on cutoff LiPo mode or whatever, but this is going to be a huge help checking all the cells on the batteries with this. So other than that, man, let me know what you guys think. Comment, subscribe, and if you guys have any questions or concerns, let me know, and I will check you guys on the next video. Thanks, man.